Global electricity access increased from 83% to 89% in the period from 2010 to 2017. In particular, global electrification rate increased 1.8 times faster than population growth, and projects to achieve 95% of electrification in 2030. Achieving universal access to electricity is an essential goal of global community. However, it's important to argue that access must have a number of attributes, such as to be adequate in quantity, available when needed, having good quality, being reliable, being affordable, legal, healthy, and safe. Therefore, binary metrics, that is, access or not access to electricity, are not probably sufficient to track the importance of energy for the prosperity of a community. A study of the World Bank discusses energy access by introducing new definition and metric that focuses on the quality of energy being accessed. In particular, a multi-tier approach is proposed where different attributes are considered to describe the kind of energy access. In this lecture, we will focus on productive uses. There have been several attempts to come up with a clear definition of the term productive use of energy, while in some cases productive use is mainly defined through income-generating activities that are directly positively affected by the use of electricity. Others draw a much broader definition by including the use of electric energy for education, health, and other welfare-related activities. We will use the definition of the World Bank, that is, productive uses of energy are those that increase income or productivity, referred to as value-adding activities. Due to multiple types of productive enterprises, it's very difficult to identify energy needs that may vary in quantity and in typologies. As an example, some production processes may need electricity while others may require heat with different temperature levels that affect the energy supply. Furthermore, it is difficult to directly link energy with productivity, since other major factors may be bottleneck, such as the availability of raw materials, capital, land, skilled manpower, markets, transportations, licenses, and so on. The multi-tier framework is built on 9 attributes that may take different values, thus defining 5 tiers of energy access for productive uses. These attributes are capacity, duration of daily supply, reliability, quality, affordability, legality, convenience, safety, and health. That is indoor air quality. Let's analyze each one of them. Capacity is an attribute that quantifies energy supply first in terms of variety of energy carriers, that is electricity and non-electric supply. Electricity is characterized by other sub-attributes that are power, daily supply capacity, and source of electricity supply. As an example of the T3, that is an average level of energy access for productive uses, characterized by minimum 200 watts of power, 1 kilowatt hour per day, with generation by internal consumption in engines or microgrids. Non-electric supply for Tier 3 means that the available non-electric energy partially meets requirements. For instance, Tier 5 is characterized by a minimum of 2 kilowatts of power, 8.2 kilowatt hour per day, with grid-connected generation. Non-electric supply for Tier 5 means that the available non-electric energy fully meets requirements. Duration of energy supply describes for how long energy services are provided to the user. Even in this case, the focus is both on electricity and non-electric supply. For Tier 3, electricity services should be provided minimum for 50% of working hours, while non-electric supply partially meets requirements. On the other hand, for Tier 5, electricity services should be provided minimum for 95% of working hours, while non-electric supply fully meets requirements. Reliability is instead an attribute that describes the continuity of supply. Tier 3 does not have minimum reliability requirements, while for Tier 5, the description is no reliable issues or little impact. Quality is an attribute related with quality of supply, for example, stability of supply, frequency issues, quality of fuels, and so on. This attribute only applies for tiers higher than 4, and for Tier 5, it requires a condition with no quality issues or little impact. Affordability is linked with the cost of energy. This attribute only applies for tiers higher than 4, and for Tier 5, it requires a condition where variable cost of energy is less than grid tariff. Legality is an attribute related with legality of connection, that is traceability including payment. This attribute only applies for tiers higher than 4 when energy bill is paid to the legal market operator. Convenience is linked with time and effort in securing and preparing energy. This attribute only applies for tiers higher than 4, and for Tier 5, it requires a condition of no convenience issues or little impact. Health, that is indoor air quality from use of fuels, include 3 sub-attributes that are particulate matter, carbon monoxide emissions, and use of clean fuels, indicated with the acronym BLEANS, that stands for biogas, liquefied petroleum gas, electricity, ethanol, natural gas, and solar. This attribute is solely relevant for tier higher than 4. As an example, for Tier 5, it entails PM 2.5 less than 10 micrograms per cubic meter, carbon monoxide less than 7 milligrams per cubic meter, and use of bleens or equivalent clean fuels. Last important attribute is safety, that again is relevant only for tiers higher than 4, and for Tier 5 entails the adoption of energy supply solutions that have not caused any accidents over the past year. Overall, it's important to recognize that energy is not an end by itself, but rather a way to promote development and prosperity. Productive uses of energy better describe this link that is still valid even at household level, where a multi-tier approach may be applied following the indications from World Bank or other institutions.